watching Basement Politics with my guy, Freddie Vasquez.
Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics on Unfiltered. Happy Sunday. Good evening, folks. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. The place where there's corruption dies. Tonight, I'm getting some more details on the South Broadway incident. It's really snowballing here. TikTok has made it go viral, and now there's a petition. But let's talk about the sellouts. Bullets, ballots, I should say, or bullets. What does that mean exactly? Good evening, folks. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics on Unfiltered. Tonight's episode, Ballot or Bullets. First, I want to say that I got the title from an article I was reading in regards to Malcolm X. He was referring to sellouts, individuals within the Black community, specifically what he was talking about, who have sold out the rest of the community, right? And many times they are, and I've said this in Spanish, plata o plomo, as the cartels would say to individuals like the law enforcement, either you take the money or the bullets. In this case, get us the ballots or the bullets, meaning you will not succeed. Your business won't thrive. You will not get a job or promotion. And you may even get terminated. You must support. And that is why you saw the vast amount of city employees out carrying petitions, even on a work day, during the day. Many took a time off, paid leave, I believe. And so a lot of that's being foiled. Will we get that information? Probably not. And just real quick, I was speaking with somebody, and I want to let you know, if you want to get information from the city records, transcripts, find out information such as who was out on February 28th, the day petitions season started, you can foil that with the city clerk's office here in the city of Yonkers and City Hall. Just some information. So I want to talk about this incident, but not so much about the incident itself, but what else does it reveal and what it should be revealing to the community over there, South Broadway, which is largely Hispanic, but to the entire city. There are individuals that are selling us out. They portray themselves as community leaders simply to gain our trust. Once they got that trust, they lead us astray. And so that's what Malcolm X was referring to when he was talking about ballots or bullets. It's not, I got a gun, I'm going to shoot anyone, and I have to be very clear on that. Very, very clear. Folks, did you see this really quick before I get into it? The mayor, his page, he's promoting the Yonkers Voice. The Yonkers Voice got knocked down. He now has a new page. He has 7.5 K members, 7,500 members. His original page was deleted by Facebook because it violated campaign political advertising laws and regulation. He wasn't making it known that he was being paid to promote elected officials. Is Mike Spano letting it be known that he's promoting Yonkers Voice? So now they got this new page up, and so they want to get his followers back up because, again, he is their propaganda machine. And that is why I speak about him. It's not a competition. I don't care about competing with this man. I don't make $1 off social media, and I'm not looking to make $1. I'm simply looking to get people on the page so more and more people could become aware. I am trying to educate you. He is trying to misguide you, mislead you, at least when it comes to politics. But it's quite strange why the mayor would make that decision, or at least allow those who control his page to make that decision, considering all that's going on with the Board of Election and their concealment or possible concealment of the legislative aide who tried to have sex with a 14-year-old girl. He was caught red-handed. And so now Mimi Roca is investigating. What did they know? But I guess this is Yonkers, and Yonkers, they can do whatever they want. And this is also part of my message today. They will do whatever they want. They don't care anymore. This is almost taunting. This is Rue Ross almost saying, look at me, and hey, Rue Ross, we're going to show them. We got your back. You're legitimate, regardless if you pled guilty to endangering the welfare of a child when you were arrested at your karate school for fondling the underage girl. He also had child porn in his phone, which he admitted to. There's also a police report, which I've posted on the page. So I don't understand why the mayor would engage or any other individual would engage with them. But again, it's not about the safety of our children, like Shanae Williams mentioned in her press release, criticizing Christopher Johnson, County Legislator Johnson, who she is opposing and going against. She has the support of the Spano Machine and Zahi Jarris, another individual convicted of a felony, political corruption, extortion, and blackmail, yet and still our elected officials engage in business with him. What message does that send to the community? What message does it send to the community when you engage with this type of individual if you're concerned with the children's safety and also with the integrity of your office? So I'll get back to that. There's some updates. Now there's a petition calling for the resignation of Jessica Guisto Gordon, who was hired by the mayor's office to be the executive director of the South Broadway bid. Are you signing the petition? How do you feel about this? I didn't do it. And I want to be very clear. They're very divisive. They were going around telling people, from what I'm hearing, that I organized the protest against the mayor yesterday. I and Hector Santiago, actually. And I did see Hector Santiago there. And I did say hello, because I'm not looking to have problems. Yes, some of you may have heard. And I'm not sure if many of you actually got the correct story. But yes, there was an incident that we are looking to move forward from, or at least I'm trying to. But Hector, he has a campaign to run. He's focused on that. I get it. But at the very least, if we're in the same environment, same setting, we can be cordial to each other. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build with people. There was a misunderstanding, and that was the result of their divisive tactics. They divide our community, and we have to be aware of that. So it's very important, because they're giving us the wrong information. The power structure, knowing that certain groups are in need of the basics, right? So this power structure knows that the people are in need of the basics, such as food, right? They'll send another Black or Hispanic into the community with a bag of food, bag of toys, to gain the people's trust. They'll set up shop throughout the city. And yes, while it's a good deed, they're given, but the political operatives use this in order to help the elected officials. They gather their information. They register them to vote. They don't inform them on the candidates. They don't inform them on the political process. They don't inform them on civics. They don't educate them at all. They simply take their information, give them a bag of food, and send them on their way. Then when it's petition season, they come knocking at their door. They don't know why they're signing the paper, other than that, if I do this, I know I'll continue to have that food. I'll continue to get the toys, the turkey donations. All the while, they are doing things up in City Hall that these folks are not aware of, because they're not educating them at all, that are not beneficial to them, that are working against their own interests. They're being pushed out. The rents are going up in the Noidon Hill section. People are complaining more and more by $500 a month. This is what someone who lives there told me themselves. I'm not making accusations. I'm not assuming. I'm telling you what a resident of No Dine Hills section of Yonkers said. A new landlord came in, raised my rent, or in the new lease when I sign it, wants to raise the rent by $500 a month. Are they greedy? Do they want their money? Or is it more about just getting them out because they know that they're probably not going to be able to do it? Then they renovate it. Then they rent them out for more money. It's only a matter of time before No Dine Hill finally gets fixed up. But it will not be because of Corazon Pineda Isaac or any other city council member or this mayor. It will be because of the investors who buy up the properties, renovate them, and rent them to a new class of people. That's what's happening. And they'll keep you sedated with free food and a good time at a barbecue here and there. While we need those events, we need to have community events for unity to be together. That's very positive. There also has to be an education component. We must educate our residents. You, as a council member, educate the people in your district. But you don't, because it suits you. It benefits you to keep them unaware of what you're actually doing. And that's their strategy, and that's what it's been all along. And they use identity politics. And so they have gotten certain individuals that look like us, don't care about us, will lie to us, will lead us astray. And that's what yesterday was all about in that beautiful event there. This is not anti-Hispano. This is pro-Hispanic, pro-Latino, pro-my people, pro-my community, and pro the city of Yonkers and all the residents who are damn tired. This is what it's about. It's not anti-Hispano. I don't want to make it about him. Right? So they send individuals, that gain your trust, these community leaders, so-called, heads of these organizations that all of a sudden start getting funding. People like Lorraine Lopez, right? Lorraine Lopez ran the Puerto Rican Day Parade Association, and that had money problems at one point, which is why they stopped it. They screwed it up. Then they brought it back, only to build animosity between the different Hispanic groups here in the city of Yonkers. Why? To purposely keep a divide. We are strong, Latinos. We are a very strong voter bloc if we can get it together. And that is all I'm trying to do. I am on your side, regardless of the negative information they spread about me. People say, you can't trust Freddie. Really? You can't trust me? Yeah, okay. I'm out here sticking my neck out. You see my face. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, and I stand on it. And if I have to call things out, then I do that. And if you're trying to take me down, then you best believe I'm going to expose you. Anyone that I've ever exposed or shared a text message is because they had it coming. But anyone that's been genuine, that has given me information because they want to see change here in Yonkers, I have never violated their trust, even when I've been sued, and I'm being sued, and they're asking for it. And I am going to give them 3 sources: Google, Vinny Spano, and Zahi Jerris. But I will protect all my other sources who have given me information on a lot of different things, and they know I'm right. That is why they attack me. That is why they put out the negative information about me, to mislead you. They don't want to see us get together. They don't want to see Freddie Vasquez organize damn near the entire city against this small group that was up in this event yesterday. And it wasn't over 150 people, Lorraine. I think that's a lie. Besides, if it were, then somebody needed to shut it down. That was over capacity. The first administration, so what they do folks, and again, this is what Lorraine Lopez talked about, right? The administrations comes in, and this administration did this. Mike Spano, when he came in 2012, he knew if he wanted to do this 4th term thing, you don't think that they just thought about this, a few weeks before Lakeisha introduced the legislation. Do you? No. They knew that they were going to be going for a long time. So they needed to create this system, this infrastructure in order to support this plan, this agenda. And they did that by firing and hiring individuals to head the different departments that were loyal to them, removing them somehow, either by forcing them to resign, retire, or creating a false lie, a false story about them, possibly using child pornography or something to that effect in order to get them out of that position. Why do you think Mike Breen introduced a legislation to reduce the requirement for the position of building department commissioner? So they can hire Sam Borelli, a longtime Democratic operative. He will do whatever they say. And once they did that, they needed to put people in the various boards and committees that will also do what they say. And that's why you see the boards like the zoning board, very important board, or the planning board, have individuals appointed to them that don't have a clue. No disrespect, Janai, and I know you don't like me, Miss Wallace, but what do you know about planning? You see all the zoning laws that they're changing. Why? So they can do whatever the developers want. And that is important, again, to those who oppose the developments. You need to know this. They don't do this the way they're supposed to in the order. The zoning board, where Wilson Kimball controls everything. Wilson Kimball is married to James Kavanaugh, a partner of Nick Spano at his lobbying firm, where he has all the developers as his clients. So they got all these individuals into these different agencies and boards that were loyal to them. Why do you think the mayor is the chair of the YIDA? He had his his sister-in-law, Jamie McGill Spano, appointed as the executive director, and then they have James Kavanaugh as the president. They can never, the other board members, which they wouldn't anyway, because they're also Spano loyalists, but no board members could get together to get them out because they have Jamie as the executive director and Mike as the chairman, the two deciding votes. This is what's happening here. And so then if you go down to now these organizations, these nonprofits, right, or these South Broadway bid organizations or agencies or whatever they are, they also implement people who are loyalists, who will do whatever they say. And then they develop this sense of entitlement where they think they can go around the community and speak to people however they want, and nothing will happen. And that's what's so disheartening. This isn't the first time we've seen a city employee or an elected official speak to members of the community in such a disgusting manner. And what has happened? What was the consequence? What was the result? Nothing. They've reelected, they'll get a promotion, and they'll carry on. We saw Tasha Diaz calling a group of Latinos beggars, saying that they will be back there begging at her office, begging. She said it many times over. Disrespected the women in that chamber. What was the consequence? The only one that was arrested was Hector Santiago. Now he is facing harassment charges. A Latino. And now here we are, another incident where an employee makes a racial remark, disrespects, talks in a rude manner to Mexican American residents here in the city of Yonkers. But what's sad is that it was another Latino. The two individuals, the city employees, were Hispanic. And that's what I call the sellouts. They don't care about our community. They don't care about the individuals out there trying to make a hard-earned living. struggling to make ends meet as rents rise because their boss, the guy who they will do anything for, is bringing in luxury developments to basically say, screw you guys, get up out of here. We don't want you anymore. And people like Lorraine Lopez and Wilson Soto will gladly preach to the rest of the community how great this administration is, and we need to vote them in for a fourth time. If you can vote, right, Jessica? So, this is what happened. Jessica here didn't want to see the vendors there. So what did Jessica do? She contacted her friend Millie. Millie is the chief of staff of Jose Alvarado. Jose Alvarado represents that area. It's part of his district at the county level. Jose Alvarado, the Westchester County legislator, the guy who was removed from his job at City Hall because he was coming in drunk. When he was coming in, they moved him somewhere else. He's never around. Small business owner in his district say he doesn't do anything for them. And so if you are in his district and you're going to be voting and you're tired of this, or you're tired of this and you're not going to be voting because of it, you have Jose Diaz to vote for. He really cares. We have to be involved. We can't just back away. That's what they want us to do. Why do you think they've been disrespecting my wife and my family the way they have? They want me to go away, but I won't. You won't stop me, no matter how much you send Rue Rose and Brian to come at me, no matter what disgusting things come out of Rue Rose's mouth. I'm here to educate the people and make them aware, and you need to listen and share. This is important. Otherwise, what you see on South Broadway will continue to happen, because I'm hearing that she was asking whether or not it was going to be a big deal. She's asking Rue Rose for help, media help, propaganda. Get me out to your people. That's why the mayor is sharing the Rue Rose page so they can get her on so she can spin it, because they're not going to fire her. She's a part of their system. These are the people that keep this power structure going. They perpetuate it. Without the legs, the power structure cannot walk. So thank you, legs. Thank you. You are the sellouts that keep this going. So she calls Millie, Jose Alvarado's chief of staff. Millie is married to the individual that you saw show up from Consumer Protection by the name of Ruben. Ruben just got the job not that long ago, thanks to Millie and Jose Alvarado. So what do? They show their appreciation by doing whatever they want them to do. And that includes harassing street vendors who have been there for 7+ years. You see it in the video. He says, "Oh, hi, Jessica." The guy doesn't even know really what's going on. He approaches the street vendor. He goes, "How you doing? I got a complaint about the generator, blah, 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 blah." That's exactly what he says. I'm quoting him verbatim. Blah, 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 blah is a quote. How do you approach this woman about a complaint you received and you explain it to her in using blah, 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 blah? What kind of professional individual are you? And this woman who says she works for the city and she runs that whole section, she's the head of South Broadway bid, is in a t-shirt and flip-flops. And you want to be taken seriously? You're calling people ignorant? You're creating a scene. Disorderly conduct? When she couldn't get the police, who didn't think it was worth their time, it was no issue to do anything about it, she got Ruben there. Ruben was just recently hired, or maybe not recently, but it's fairly new. But at least Ruben understands the process, right? He should know better because he understands the process very well. Prior to getting hired at Consumer Protection, he was running his hot dog cart in front of the DMV. That's right. The man that was harassing the street vendor on South Broadway has a hot dog cart. You can find him at front of the DMV. Well, now he's working for the city, so he's paying someone else to work it. But he goes all around. People say you see him on Nepperhan, over by the flea market, where Tasha Diaz has hijacked a food drive there. Because Tasha Diaz is a part of this circle. She knows them very well as well. This is her district, District 3. That is why you saw Tasha Diaz up at the event yesterday, Dos Hispanos for Hispanos. So how many of you would like to get a job with the city? How many of you wish you can just ask your wife to ask her boss if you can get a job with the city? You're tired of running your hot dog cart in front of the DMV. You need more cash. And there you go. All you have to do is harass people when we tell you to. Harass bodegas, because I've heard of complaints, or people have complained to me about these guys going into their businesses. So this is what they do. They get people that look like me, like us Latinos and Blacks, to go into the community, to do their bidding, gain their trust and lie to us, or come and be aggressive and racist, telling someone to go back to where he came from and questioning whether he was able to vote or not. That's disrespectful. Calling him ignorant is disrespectful. But what bothered me the most, what I saw that bothered me the most, and I didn't realize it till yesterday, was that the two, and I thought that they were, but I wasn't sure until yesterday, that the two people standing next to the woman, he said, you have 3 people here, there's only 1 person on the license. Well, those 2 other people he was talking about or referring to were her children. Yesterday, or Friday, I should say, schools were closed. Mom still has to work. And so those 2 kids watched their mother be talked to that way. And that bothers me because I was those 2 little kids at one point. And what's sad is that it's coming from another minority. Yeah, you understand and speak Spanish, but you don't understand, Ruben. And that was hurtful to me. Those kids just watched it. What can they say? I know, I was there. What do you say to an adult, someone with authority, talking to your parent, your mom, your dad, or your grandparent in my situation like that? You sell out. And I mean that because you could have spoken to her with respect. I understand you have to do your job. I understand you have to check licenses and make sure that people who are out there are legit. I get it. But there's a way you approach people and there's a way you speak to people. And that's not how you do it. And she was legit and he left. And ultimately she left without apologizing, threatening to take her license away. You feel real powerful, Jessica, but you're feeling a bit scared now. You're running to Ruros and the administration to make sure you keep your job, and I hope that you don't. And not because of what you said to the man videoing, but because of the situation you put those kids in. That hurts. As a Hispanic, as a Puerto Rican, that hurts. What does that teach those kids? That's traumatizing. Obviously, you can see it in my face. You should be ashamed of yourself, Jessica. And you Rough Rider rescue? Rescue what? You're traumatizing. You're abusing. All to keep your little job that, as the man pointed out, is not paying you very well. Is it worth it? That's sad. That hurts my feelings. This is the individual here, Ruben. Ruben, her kids are right there. The people you were talking about were her kids, dude. She's not fortunate enough to have somebody working for Jose Alvarado that can get her a job with the city with a pension and benefits. She has to be out there. I'm sure already she feels some type of way. That's what she has to do to earn a few extra dollars. And how can these individuals say that Freddie is the mean? These individuals call me mean, say I'm the problem. They said that, they had the nerve to say that the rallier, everything was okay until I got there. I caused the scene, I created the problem, when that's not true at all. I was very quiet on Ruros came out, and he approached the protesters and initially got loud with them, which surprised me because I said, why did he do that? Out of respect for the mayor, he should have just kept it moving. But he approached the protesters and got into it with them. I was quiet. And there goes the man who pled guilty to endangering the welfare of a child after he fondled her. See, so he decided to go. He couldn't help himself. That's his problem.
You can back up some, sir. You can back up some. You're too close to her. You're too close to her.
You don't know who we are either.
Why don't you show me a report?
You want to leave? You want
showed you already.
to leave? Just go. I got viral.
You're not better than us. You're not better. Don't touch her. I just told you don't touch her.
I'm a fan from Ross. You're not the only one who knows karate. So don't touch me. Don't try to touch me.
And then,
I'm not the
before
one
he
to do the
leaves,
3 to 45.
that should refer to the pedophilia charge that he was convicted where he pled guilty to pedophilia and having child. He told me to go F myself, right? And that's when I said something bad. But he started this. He created this scene. This is the individual that the mayor is supporting and promoting currently on his page. This is the man that the mayor wants you to get your information from. Why? Because he's going to sell you a lie. And that's what Jessica Gordon is hoping he can do for her at some point. But Jessica's too late. It's too late. It's gone viral. People are signing a petition. And there's more to come. Karate coaches charged with abuse. Folks, spread this, pass this. I don't know why some people still don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. You shouldn't even give an ounce of anything after this. He was charged. The suspect in Yonkers' case is accused of fondling the student during her first lesson. There goes the mayor with Jessica Gordon. So this right here is disrespect. It shows that they don't care. They feel the same way, obviously. They don't care if someone has abused a child. They don't care if someone has made racist remarks to a woman trying to get, or a man trying to defend a woman who's trying to make some dollars to support herself. They don't care. What does that say? Yonkers woman charged in Turkey Drive fraud. Lorraine Lopez faces maximum of 7 years in state prison. She was convicted, but she got probation. And this is my concern with the CJ Hackett case. This is what they do to their political operatives, their people. They save them as long as they're willing to do what they want. Lorraine Lopez went on and spoke negatively about Mayor Mike Spano. She said he audited her first because she was a spick, a derogatory term for Puerto Ricans or any Hispanic. She said the reason why she even got convicted, charged and convicted for this was because of Mike Spano. So if you are to believe Lorraine, then Mike Spano falsely had her arrested and convicted for grand larceny, over $6,900 that went missing from a turkey donation. If you don't believe Lorraine Lopez, then she is a criminal who should not be considered a Latino leader here in Yonkers by Mayor Spano or anyone. She stood proudly next to Mayor Spano yesterday. Is that who a Latino leader is? Because you gather up folks to give them turkey at some point, but at one point you stole the money. You don't even buy the turkeys. You don't buy the gifts. You don't do anything. What they do, folks, is say, hey, since you are able to organize, we're going to give you turkeys, give it out to the community, and make sure they sign our petition and vote for us. And we'll give you a little something also. That's all it's about. Do not trust these individuals, what they say politically. You want to give out turkeys, you want to give out toys, cool. But don't tell people who to vote. Don't carry petitions. Don't get involved politically. Lorraine Lopez carried petitions for the mayor, but she accused him of sending her to jail. But she only got probation, though she faced 7 years. Why? Because they got judges in their pockets. Same reason why James Sertivo, the registered sex offender who sodomized a 14-year-old boy, only got probation. Now he works for Ginsburg, Martin Ginsburg, who had a park named after him the other day. They don't care. They will associate with pedophiles and criminals. Shanae Zahi Jerris runs her campaign via his son, Frank Jerris, who recently became the paid secretary of the Human Rights Commission. The same Human Rights Commission that Hector Santiago belongs to, that did nothing and has done nothing to help him with his situation currently. And so if you care and support Hector Santiago, you should be upset at all this. Tasha Diaz is not your friend. Are you looking for housing? Are you having trouble finding affordable housing? Then Tasha Diaz is not your friend. Don't be mistaken with a turkey or a bag of food. I promise you, you vote for someone else, you will still get that turkey and bag of food. That will always be here, but they don't have to be. That's the message. They have sold us out, and it's time we understand that because they play a vital role in our elections. Look at how many people signed petitions for the mayor. 8,000? How did that happen? Go and try to gather petitions. Spend one day, you tell me. Why are so many of them on the southwest and northwest side? The very people they say don't vote. They don't care about. We don't pay attention to them. That's a lie. They want you to think that. Any newcomer, think that. So you don't focus on this individual because they got them on lock with their food voter block drive, food drive voter block, whatever you want to call it. That's what those are for. There's a nefarious agenda behind the giving. That's why Mr. JM, I won't say your name, I don't want you to get your panties in a bunch, gets all hyped up from all the way down in Tampa. So what are we going to do, Latinos? What are we going to do, disenfranchised residents? What are we going to do, everyone that's tired of what's been happening here in politics? What are we going to do, all those that are opposing the 32-story towers on Woolworth and other developments elsewhere, on Carroll, on Scarsdale Road? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to continue to do it. But you have to get involved. You have to be involved. Have to. It's very important. Folks, if you are not registered to vote now, you must register to vote. If you can register, you must. And if you are a felon, I'm hearing that you still can register to vote. So please make sure. It's important. If you have not voted, let's get back in. I've been that way. I won't lie. I hated this. I don't care about politics. It's all BS. I didn't get involved. But I realized that I need to be involved. It's so important that I risk a lot, folks. So when they say this is some competition with Ruros, there's no competition. He's not risking what I'm risking. He hasn't risked what I've risked. He hasn't done what I've done. And he's not me. There is no competition. This isn't about making money. This is about seeing to it that the people of Yonkers no longer get treated in a disrespectful manner, no longer get ignored, and have a voice, finally, a real Yonkers voice. And maybe I'm at a learning curve here. I've never been in front of people like this. Sure, I stood up in front of my employees, but it's never been more than 5 at one time. So excuse me, excuse my passion, excuse my emotions. But I care. I care about you. And I will fight for you. That's how much I care. But I understand I have to tone it down, Freddie. I don't want to come off as they paint me. And sometimes I make it easy because I care that much. I'm that passionate. This man disgusts me, and I'm sorry, and please forgive me for that. But I can't stand anyone who violates children. And it sickens me that our elected officials will continue to do business with him. Our mayor will promote him, basically saying a big F you to his victims who are still here in Yonkers. His victims are still here in Yonkers. I've thought about reaching out to the family, but I don't even want to bring it up. But just know his victims are still here, Mayor, and they hate him for it. That's a fact to all those who say, show documented fact, which I have. So, folks, we have to be aware of these individuals that are so-called leaders that come into our communities. What have they done for us? They've asked us to vote for people. They've asked you to sign petitions for certain individuals. And now they're at it again. The Lorraine Lopez, former aide, charged with grand larceny. This is what these Latino so-called leaders have in their background. This is their reputation, mugshots. And so if they're willing to steal from kids, Toys for Tots, from homeless or those in need of food, turkey donations, what do you think they'll say to you? She has been quoted as saying, I work for whoever pays me the most. And it's obvious that she does because she's working for the current administration, who she once called racist and accused and blamed for her criminal record. Now she is a huge supporter. Latino, come and vote for the greatest thing since sliced bread. Pan con queso. Here we go. Heard the Spanish in. Look at them all, needing some favor. I need something. Hopefully, if I support, maybe I'll get this. And it's sad. You shouldn't have to stand there to get your damn permits. You look like a fool, and I refuse to do that. And sometimes that doesn't work out for me because I have pride, I guess. Sometimes, however, you must stand up for what you believe in. There she goes with Tasha Diaz, the woman that killed the affordable housing ordinance, that called a group of Latino beggars, that said they're going to be begging in her office when she gets reelected. And guess who's going to reelect her? Latinos. Her district is largely Latinos, and that's how she treats Latinos. Are we really that silly? Are we that naive? I'm sorry if I say it this way. But it's time to change. Wepa! She's excited that the lawsuit to try and stop the fourth term did not succeed. But they will appeal. But why is she so happy? You should be sad. You should want to see the man that sent you to jail, Lorraine. That made you, that labeled you a felon, Lorraine, lose the election. But I guess he's going to reappoint your brother to the zoning board. A man doesn't know nothing about zoning, and you want to keep things kosher. So is my cousin. Own flesh and blood will sell you out. He's got to say that. The mayor gave him and his wife a job, or Vinny Spano, one of the two. He told me they helped me during the pandemic, while so many were not so fortunate to be helped. God bless you. But what about all the other Latinos in the Latino community, Erwin, that has remained stagnant, impoverished, sucked out of anything that they had, the schools broken down and left in despair, only to be lied to year after year, Erwin? And I told this to him one time, my cousin, in city council chambers, and he said, well, you should move then. That's what he said. Because I felt that the schools needed more. He told me I should move. And maybe I will one day. But not before I give it the best shot I can, Erwin. And don't worry, Erwin. I won't fire you right away. I'll let you find another job first. Wilson Soto, the attorney. The Latinos respect him or what? Yes, so. He's an abogado. Un abogado. Look at Wilson Torero right back there, wanting to make sure they secure theirs at the expense of the majority of the Hispanic blacks and the people of the city of Yonkers, regardless of what color you are. Doesn't matter if you're white. If you're not connected, you still get the same treatment. Ask the Hackett family. How have they been treated? They're Irish. Westchester County District Attorney Janet DeFiore announces that Wilson Soto was arraigned today on a felony complaint, charging him with one count of offering a false instrument for filing a Class C felony, filing lies, fraudulent documents. Wilson Soto, an attorney, was disbarred, but they brought him back, I believe, by decision and order of motion on this date of 2012. Look, it all happened in 2012 when the mayor came in, Lorraine Lopez, Wilson Soto. I guess you're right, Lorraine. He went after all the spics, didn't he? By decision and order of motion dated April 4, 2012, this court on its own motion vacated the respondent's immediate suspension from the practice of law pursuant to judiciary law. Yeah, resulting from the conviction of a serious crime. Wilson Soto, this guy. But again, as you see the mayor sharing the Yonkers Voices page and promoting it on his own, the mayor of the third largest city in the state of New York. That says a lot. We shouldn't be surprised. Our mayor says it's okay to commit a crime, and you can still stand next to me eventually one day, as long as you do my bidding. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Folks, I love you. I'm here for you. I promise you that. Get to know me. Don't listen to what these people tell you about me. There are individuals out there spreading lies, and I know, and I'm going to say, Steve, this is what I do. Steve Simpson, I don't know if this is true, but next time you see me and you stop me in the street, we could talk about it. You told somebody that I know that no one supported me, that you were surprised that he was because he was the only one that you ever heard say they're supporting me. I guess you don't watch the podcast. I guess you don't look at the page at all, but I don't think that's the case. Why would you say that? On multiple occasions. Really? Not one person supporting me? He's the first? Come on. At the very least, I got 5. That's more than 1, isn't it? I thought we were cool. I thought we were buddies. Dang. That's kind of hurtful, Steve. I thought you would be supporting me. I thought you wanted to do that plan. Anyway, folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Politics is dirty. And I'm here to clean this up. I support you. Keep exposing these pricks. Thank you, Julio. I appreciate you. Spread the word. Get to know me. If you see me in the street, come say hello to me. I'm not stuck up. I'm not arrogant. And if you see me in a Lamborghini, ask me for a ride. I'll give you a ride. You can report on that, Brian. I'm sure you will. Trust me, I will. If you see me, say, can I go? Let's go. I'm that type of guy. Say hello. I'm friendly. I want to hear what you have to say. I care. And if you want me to look into something for you, let me know. I'll look into it. And I am busy. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people that got some things, folks. By the way, I'll be at the building department. I have an appointment on Tuesday. I'm sorry. I get a lot of calls. Just leave me a text. Send me a message. I will promise you. I'll get back to you. I promise you. Don't take that as disrespect. Please don't. Ever since this basement politics thing, I've been crazy busy with the phone. Seriously. So please, I don't mean any disrespect, okay? I just want to say that. But please reach out to me. I will try to see what I could do. Let's talk about it. I'm all about educating and informing. You want to build with me? Let's build. I'm here to support our community. Anyone, I don't care what color you are, but I'm definitely here to support my community where I come from because I know there is a lot of need there, and I want to be that guy. No one's giving me $1. Not one person from the city went, one elected official. Everything I've ever done has been with my own money, and that's fine, and I'm going to continue to do it. So if you want to build with me, reach out to me. If you can help me, because again, I got a lot going on. I want to build a team. I want to build people, bring people together. I'm looking to organize. All you young people out there, you have to get involved. Let's get into something positive. I was out there in the street, right? I was out there in the hood. I could have easily went left, easily, but God had other plans. And maybe this is why I'm here, to help people not go left and go right. We need somebody that's genuine, that truly cares. I don't want anything from you. I just want to see you do well. I'm Freddie Vasquez, folks. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for supporting. Please share the podcast. I don't make $1 on this. I don't. I'm not looking for $1. You won't see a Freddie Vasquez GoFundMe page. You will only see me asking that you share the page and you become aware. That's all. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you. God bless and good night.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
In another one, Mr. Lugo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want some of the butter chicken. So thank you.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I know you have a lot of women that work in your office. I'm hoping that this is not true, Sandy.
But I am the bad guy. Freddie wins. Fatality.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
No!